Welcome to a special highlight from the FarmDoc Daily webinar series. In this clip, University of Illinois agricultural economist Gary Schnitkey provides a live demonstration of the new Crop Insurance Payment Evaluator.
Now we're going to shift into, and we're going to try, and I'm going to hand it over to Gary to drive here. We're going to get into this insurance evaluator tool. This slide kind of helps guide you to where you could find this thing online. So if you go to our FarmDoc website, or our FarmDoc Daily website. FarmDoc Daily is actually the page being shown here in the screenshot. In the main bar there, kind of at the top of those beautiful corn and soybean fields, that image there, there's a tools menu. And if you go to that tools menu, it drops you down into that choice of 4 options. It's the first one under crop insurance tools. And then that will pull up a number of crop insurance tools. And what we're looking at here is the third one in the list, and that's the Crop Insurance Payment Evaluator. And what that will do, if you navigate to that and you select those menus and you click on that Payment Evaluator, that will take you to this input screen. And we're going to take you through some live examples here. So I'm going to let Gary take over, and we're going to, hopefully this works out.
Yeah, the famous last words is that we hope it works out, and you should be seeing this live right now. When you come here, what you're going to see is this farm information sheet, and you'll be able to choose a state. And we have loaded in here Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, and Iowa. We're working on adding some more states. We can select a county, and I'm going to select DeKalb County because that's what I selected before. It really... the counties I looked at, the results are going to be roughly the same. I'm actually going to do soybeans. I'm picking soybeans this year because most people have not thought about SCO with soybeans because they've probably been taking our county in the last several years and SCO wasn't available. Once we make those selections, we bring in a case farm for this county, and it's close to the average for the county. So we have a APH yield of 64.05, a trend adjusted yield of 67, and then you make a revenue or insurance plan choice, and it automatically defaults to what is the most used in the county. And for DeKalb County soybeans, it was RP 80%. I'm just going to click this up to 85. And then you hit Run Evaluator at the bottom. And you'll think a little bit, and this is the result you'll get. And let me explain these results. This is RP 85%, and we'll skip the buttons here for a little bit. If you had a RP 85%, the farmer paid premium on that would be $9.74. So that's what the farmer paid premium is, and that's based on what we're looking at estimated price, and we have volatility built into this as well. Over time, we would expect premium or payments back to be $9.66. That is based on a simulation that actually goes back to 1991. And includes up-to-date numbers. So this includes the drought year and several other years in there. The net insurance benefits is minus 0.08, which means that in DeKalb County, over time, farmers should expect to roughly net zero, which, by the way, means, given the insurance premium subsidies that are wrong, that RMA has the premiums way too high. That should be lower than that. So we have a ratings issue here. 17.2 is the percent times it will expect to be paid. I would note that we have a longer time frame in there. The last 10 years have actually probably been better than that, but we have 2012 in there and some of the 90s. So we're maybe a little bit more conservative on, or by conservative, have more yield variability than we've seen recently. And our net revenue, worst case scenario, is $581.51. What we want is this number to be as high as possible, 581. And what this technically is the 5% lowest revenue that can be gotten under this combination. So from a risk standpoint, we want to drive this as high as possible. And if all we were concerned about was risk, we would drive this as high as possible without considering this. All right, we have buttons up here. And by the way, this tool was built with a collaboration between NCSA, National Supercomputer here on campus. They are the technical ones behind this, making this all work. If you click on here, this is going to put supplemental coverage on this RP policy. And you're going to notice that these change a little bit. That goes up to 10, 12. You're paying for it. Here, look at what happened to that average indemnity payment, though. It went up a little bit. We caused our item to go a little positive. We went up 22% and $584. So that has really modest impacts. Let's go to 95. You're going to have sticker shock here first. That 974 goes to 1539. That's the cost of that ECO 95% coverage level. But that average indemnity payment goes up to 29, and that average net insurance benefit goes up to 1372. So we're getting positive numbers there. By the way, they're still not rated properly. That is not a 0.88 loss ratio. And our net revenue worst case goes to 612. So we made our 581 go up to 612. So you can play with this, but an easier way to do this is in the compare mode. So now I have my base product here, which is what I had on the previous screen. And then I can go over here and make changes. And so RP is still at 85, and I have on supplemental coverage. And here's what 90% does. And you can see here, 585 to 595, an increase. But look what happens when we do 595, 612. That 95% does drive that net revenue worst case up, but we're also driving our premium up. But our average indemnity payment goes up, and our net insurance payment goes up. And just one of the things that we've talked about is think ECO 95 first and not include the SCO. And the SCO, because it's only 1%, isn't going to do much here. So and it's roughly the same. All right, I'm going to just leave that. Let me just do that. 612. Now I'm going to come over here and look at another scenario, and I'm going to lower that coverage level. Let me do it at 75. Well, what do we want to do it? I'm going to go to 75 here first. All right, save it. Put those off. So I lowered my premium from 974 to 209, and my net revenue worst case went down. So I didn't make my net revenue worse. Drove my farmer paid premium down, and my net insurance benefit is still negative. Now let's add 95%. My premium is lower than 85%, and my net revenue worst case is better, and my net insurance benefit is better. So in a lot of cases, this looks much better than RP 85%. There is a bit of a trade-off here. That 584 is the 5% worst cases, which aren't necessarily the same. I'm providing protection for widespread county yield declines and widespread price declines. But if my farm has a poorer yield and the county doesn't, I would be below this. So there's a basis issue there. But overall, you can think I can lower that, get actually better risk protection from that standpoint. And let me just show you this for 90%. See, I go down. I go down in net insurance benefit and I go down to net revenue. Hold that there and maybe add. And let me show you what happens when you add SCO. And you're going to see that premium go from $974 up to $774. It's going to go up to a little bit higher than before because I have a higher band. I have better risk protection. Not as good as here, but this is the Cadillac, right? This is the Cadillac. I still have a lower premium here. And let me do one other one. So I'm going to add a new insurance plan, and it's down here. I'm going to make it revenue protection. And I'm going to go 65. I'm going to go 65%, just to give you a range. 85 cents. Now let me add ECO to this. 580. I've reduced it. 912, 974. I got a positive benefit, and I still get higher.
That was a look at the new Crop Insurance Payment Evaluator in action. As Gary demonstrated, using the Compare mode can help you identify the sweet spot between premium costs and revenue protection for your specific operation. To run these numbers for your own farm, visit the Tools section at farmdocdaily.illinois.edu. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe for more updates on the 2026 crop insurance decision season.